What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with The Point of Change, and welcome to the Sunday evening The Point of Change meets. Tonight, we have an awesome story of addiction and recovery for you. Tonight, Dayna Moore is here. She is celebrating 2 years clean and sober tonight, so throw up every heart in the world for this woman. She is awesome. I'm so thankful that she's a follower of mine. She's a supporter of mine. She's a friend of mine, and she's here to share with us tonight, and that's wonderful. I'm getting some shares on the board here, guys. So if any of you guys would like to share this out, make sure you hit that share button. Get this out to any of your addiction groups, recovery groups. Let's see, recovery talks. That's a good one. Boom. Let's see. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are having a beautiful evening. Let me pull up my comments here so I can see you guys. Let's see who's all here. Patrice, what's up? Ann Heath, how you doing? Kristen, good to see you. Donna, thank you for being here. Matt Carlson, how you doing, brother? April, good evening. Susan McIntosh is here. Michael, good evening. Good to see you, man. Brian O'Brien, hi, Brian, how you doing? Noah Gill, let's do it. Call everybody, right on, share it out. Tag anybody that you think should be here, and any family members or people that you know that love recovery videos or any of this kind of stuff. This is a great place for them to be. Let me get this shared out to a couple more of my groups. We've got 30 shares on the group on the board already. Thanks, guys, for all the shares. Awesome to see that. Let's see who else is here. Jack Carlson, how you doing, brother? Lindy, good to see you. Brandy Conklin in the house. What's up, Brandy? Thank you for being here. Janet McClanahan, hello, Maddie and recovery family. Rachel Westlake, thank you for showing up and reminding me to give you a shout out. Shout out to my new supporters, Rachel Westlake and Mir. It's Mir Anointed something is the profile name, so I'm sure but Mir is the first name. So Mir and Rachel Westlake has been added to the banner. Mir was 6/12/09. Rachel was 7/26/15. Thank you guys for signing up and being supporters. Also, Melissa Wright signed up tonight. Thank you, Melissa, for signing up to be a supporter. Got so many people signing up lately, so that's awesome. If anybody else is looking to become a supporter of The Point of Change, go to patreon.com/thepointofchange and get signed up at the membership level that works for you. If you sign up at the $25 level, you get your name and recovery date added to the banner behind me. But when you sign up, you get access to a closed group here on Facebook where I do additional weekly lives. I put out exclusive content. We have an amazing group of uplifting, awesome recovering addicts there. All right, let's see, one more share. There we are, 43 shares on the board now. Thank you guys so much for that. Make sure you like and love this video. All right, guys, I won't waste too much more time. I'm going to get Dayna on here so we can get this story on the road. Guys, throw up every heart in the world for my guest tonight, Dayna Moore.
Hello.
What's up, Dayna? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing well tonight, doing well. And you're in celebration mode.
Yeah, I guess.
2 years clean. So you got I love the crown. I love everything
Yes.
you got going on.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, we got to celebrate these milestones in our life. It's been a long 2 years. Okay. We're not going to cry. Promised. Okay. So here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think.
All right. Why don't you start us wherever you like to take this story off, dear?
Okay. I grew up in a small town, regular family life, grew up on a farm. Everything was fine. Went through high school, no drinking issues in high school. In my 20s, I started experimenting with drugs, cocaine, acid, the usual party weekend. Was just a weekender, drank a lot, partied. 1994, I met a man, I got married. I was 27 years old. I had 3 wonderful children. I was married for 13 years. I was involved with my kids, PTA, room mom, sports mom, orchestra mom. I was just there all the time, always there. My kids are still my number one priority. I got divorced after 14 years and kind of went down quickly, started drinking a lot. Then I started dabbling in meth. I stayed single for 3 years. I had custody of my children. I stayed single for 3 years. I moved numerous times. I always tried to keep a job, tried to make sure my kids were my number one priority and take care of them. Then I started dabbling more in meth. I lost my apartment. I lost jobs. I lost my car. I ended up giving custody of my children to my ex-in-laws because I couldn't take care of them. And I thought the best place for them was to be with a family that would take care of them and raise them like they needed to be raised. You know, I was from going from the mom that I was to doing drugs and then just losing everything. I stayed single for 3 years. I met a gentleman and things got really, really out of control. I started doing a lot more drugs, living in hotels. I would get clean. I would get my life straight. When he would get incarcerated, I would do good. I would be fine when he was not around. I'm not blaming him by any means because, you know, you cannot blame anybody else for your addiction.
No.
Him and I went through 7 years and we were more enabling each other. You know, we would try to stop and then we'd be like, oh, just one more time, you know, and we were just enabling. You know, we thought it was love. It was basically just two addicts running around doing bad things, you know, in order to get high.
Right.
So 2 years into my addiction, I was living in a trap house and I completely went blind in my right eye. Completely. No vision whatsoever.
Wow.
I didn't care. I was like, oh, I'm going to continue to do drugs, blah, blah, blah. He goes away. He gets incarcerated. The kindness of my ex-in-laws, they let me move in with them. They got me set up with an eye doctor. I went in. I had a full-blown cataract in my right eye, which caused me to have no vision. And then my left eye was getting cataracts as well. So went in, got the surgery. It was amazing because I hadn't been able to see out of my right eye for like 6 months. It was like, if you ever had a cataract, it looks like somebody has taped a cotton ball over your eyeball. You can't see.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, thank God. You know, I sit up, I can see, you know, this is God's blessing me. Hey, here's your eyesight back. Do I learn? No. Go right back out, you know, continue to do drugs. I got this eyesight now. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I got a job, got my shit together, got another job. I got an apartment with my middle daughter. Everything was going fine. Everything's going great. Then I get back with the same gentleman and things spiral out of control. Doing drugs, going wild, going crazy. On July 17th, 2017, I was arrested for the first time in my life. I've never had a ticket. I've never been to jail. This is 6 days before my 50th birthday. I am getting arrested and I'm going to jail. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm high. I'm like, I don't care. Take me to jail. I go to jail. I'm in there for 8 hours. They let me sign myself out because I'd never been in trouble. So I get through my 50th birthday. We're getting evicted from the apartment we're in. I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what's going to happen next. The following Monday, I go to my PR bond and I turn around and there's 2 Bexar County sheriffs standing there saying, you're under arrest. And I'm like, didn't you arrest me last week? You know, what the hell? Why are you arresting me? Well, my charges were for breaking into a building. I broke into some storage units. They could have charged me with 6 felonies. Only 3 people pressed charges. So those three felony charges went through. They arrested me. They took me to jail. So I'm sitting in there. I'm calling my other daughter. I'm like, please just get your sister in a safe place. Get the apartment cleaned out. Just leave me here. Just leave me here until I go to court. Don't try to bond me out. Just, you know, leave me here and let me write out my time. So I'm sitting in jail. I've never been in jail. You know, I think about it now. I'm not proud of going to jail, but you know what? Once you've been in jail and you see what goes on in there, it totally, completely opens up your mind because you're like, oh my God, You know, you don't even, you watch it on TV, but until you like, I'm not saying go out and experience jail, people, by any means, but until you are in there and you see, it's definitely something not to be proud of, but it's crazy in there. Like crazy, especially for somebody like me. I'm in there like, oh God, what is this? You know, what do you mean we get 5 squares of toilet paper? Where's the soap? You know? So I stayed in there for 32 days. And I'm in there, and all these women are coming into the pod, and they're like, hey, we saw you on the news. We saw you on the news. And I'm like, you didn't see me on the news. And I call my daughter, and she's like, yes, Mom, you were on the news in San Antonio. So here's my kids who I've totally given up on. And here's their mom, who used to be PTA president, prime example, best mom, room mom, block mom. I'm on the news, strung out on meth for breaking into shit. I'm thinking, how much more trauma can I put my children through, them having to deal with this now? All their friends calling, going, dude, what happened to your mom? What the hell's going on with your mother? So I sat in jail, got me a public defender. They pushed me through. They said, okay, we're going to give her 2 years deferred adjudication. If she completes the 2 years probation, it won't go on her record. I'm like, okay, cool. So get out of jail. I don't have a place to live. I have no friends. I don't have a way to get a job. And I'm thinking, okay, how the hell am I going to do this probation? So what do? I don't do the probation. I just go, screw it, hit the streets. I'm couch surfing. I'm running around. I don't like the places I'm staying because there's too much drug and crime. So I'm sleeping in Walmart parking lots. I'm sleeping behind buildings, and just doing my thing and running from the law. And I was like, you know what? Catch me if you can. I wasn't doing any crime. I wasn't out stealing or doing anything. I was dumpster diving, eating out of trash cans. I've had a Taco Bell salad out of a dumpster. It's like, you got to do what you got to do. And I wasn't about to go out and be doing crime and try to get caught when I'm on the run. So I was just eating whatever. I didn't care. So I finally got tired of that. And I turned myself in, had them call the police. I said, I have warrants, have them come and get me. So they come to arrest me, and they have all these crews there, and they're like, yeah, no, this lady's an easy arrest. Because I'm like, here you go, just take me. So I went in front of the judge again, and I said, listen, I told my attorney, I'm like, I would rather just go do the jail time. I'm a 52-year-old woman. I don't care if I have felonies. I just want to be done. I can't do the probation. I don't have a place to live. I tried the homeless shelters in San Antonio. There was more drug slinging and bad activity going on there than on the streets. I was like, just let me go do the time and be off paper. Just let me go. Oh no, my probation officer stepped up and said, oh no, girl, you are not going to prison. Kept me out again. So God bless me once again. I got this job with this lady. That's when I started following you. I got this job with this lady, and I was taking care of her. She was a bedbound veteran lady. I had a room in her home. I was her caregiver, took care of her, made sure she had her appointments, everything she needed and everything. And she was 100% supportive of me. She's like, Dayna, do whatever you have to do. I'll give you some money to go take your drug classes. You need to go to your probation, and she was really on my ass about getting this done. So I diligently just dug in with both feet, no drugs, no bad behavior, just, I was like, I got to do this. I can't screw around anymore. I ended up, unfortunately, she passed away on May the 25th of 2019. She had been really sick. I mean, just really sick. And then COVID started. It wasn't because of COVID. And I told her, I said, do you want to go to the VA? I said, you need to make the decision if you want to go to the hospital, because if you do want to go, I cannot go see you. And I think she was to the point where she was just giving up, and she was like, no, I want to pass away at home, And so I had hospice and nurses and stuff that came in every day, helped me with her. And, she saved my life. She was like my guardian angel, just came out of nowhere, not family, no nobody. She just came out of nowhere, and she was there, like God put her there so I could take care of her and give her some kind of quality of life. And she could in return give me the quality of life I needed,
Yeah.
So anyway, so she passed away. Her family, called me. I said, I'll get all of her stuff taken care of, this, that, and the other. And meanwhile, this whole time I'm staying clean, not going to meetings. I'm just watching you. And I do a lot of reading, lots of meditation, reading, read, meditation. And then I stumbled upon you, Maddie, just out of nowhere. You were the first one I stumbled on, and I've been with you ever since. And I love you. You're the best.
Oh, thank you. I love you right back.
So anyway, I reconnected with my family. They live here in Utah. My mom, I have 2 sisters here, brother-in-law, niece, and nephew. I reconnected with them, and I said, listen, I know I haven't been the model daughter over the last 10 years. I said, can you please just give me a chance? Let me come up there. I'll get a job. I'll stay straight. Please. And they welcomed me with open arms. I am so blessed to have my family. Yeah, they're good people.
Amen. That's awesome.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so glad that your family took you back in after, everything that, that you've been through and that you put them through, all of that on top of it, and that they were still there with open arms. That's beautiful.
Yep. Very, very nice people. I love my family. I love them. We're all just a bunch of crazies. We make life fun. For sure.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I love what you were saying earlier, about when you were with your ex and that toxic relationship you were in there. And you said, that you weren't trying to put the responsibility on him, but, when you got back with him, things went back down the tubes again. And I really love that, I love that you acknowledge that you weren't putting it on him, but it really is a great example of the people we surround ourselves making us who we are. There are people out there that when you get with them, you're like fire and gasoline. It just doesn't work out,
Yeah. And I mean, I really, truly cared for him. I still care for him to this day. It's just when he got out of incarceration this last time, he went right back to it. And I told him, I said, I am a different person now. I am not going back to that life. I absolutely refuse to pick up those drugs, to pick up that beer, to do anything, because I know where it goes. And for me, it just ain't 1 or 2 beers. It's 1 or 2 beers, an 8-ball, freaking, running down the street naked, it's crazy. So, and also another thing that happened this year is I lost 2 really, 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 really genuine young men in my life that basically I have known them for years, and it broke my heart to see these young men go through what they went through. And they were I don't understand why it's always the really nice, kind, wonderful people that pass away. I don't get it. It's not the ones that are out there acting like, killing people and stabbing people and stuff. It's the ones that are genuinely godly and kind and would do anything for you in the whole world that are the ones that are gone too soon. And I tell all these kids around them, because I was like the mom of all these like 20 something kids. I'm like, is this not an example for you? You've got to stop. I just want to grab these kids and just shake the shit out of them and go, just stop. Learn by example. You don't want to be me. You don't want to be an old lady starting over at 53 years old from scratch, having to mend all these fences because of, bad behavior. Drugs, but I mean, like you've said a million times, we can't do it for them. No matter how much we want to do it, it's enabling. It's here you go. Here's $20. Here, are you hungry? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And I finally had to just cut it off. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't. Sorry. I'm sorry. You
have to be the one you have to be the stronger one in those situations, because it does. Sad. It will exactly become that. It's right away, you think you can give them that $20 once and help them out and it'll be all right. And then, as soon as you fed them that one time, they come right back. And it's always a different story. And there's always a big victim mentality of, I didn't know. And it was this and that. And these outside extenuating situation I found myself in, and I need it this time. And that enabling can catch up with us real quick. So I'm glad that you've come around to where you are now. I really am.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Oh, well, that's awesome. We're just a bunch of proud people around
We are
here.
a bunch of proud people here at the Point of Change.
Proud recovering addicts, but
No,
I love what you were talking about when you got arrested, that feeling of just let's get it over with, like it's done. That feeling, I had the same thing whenever I would get arrested when I was on the run and stuff, and finally the cops are there. This sense of relief of like,
yeah.
okay, it's done now, it's over.
Mhm.
The anxiety kind of goes away, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, people thought I was crazy because I'd be on the run and I wouldn't be out doing stuff to try to get caught. I would kind of slide under the radar. But then I would I would call my daughter and say, "Okay, I'm turning myself in. I'm in this grocery store parking lot, blah blah blah." And she's like, "You're doing what?" People
Mm-hmm.
were like thought I was crazy because I would get so sick of running and being on the streets that I would just call the police myself and be like, "Hey, yo." I'd make sure I had plenty of warm clothes on because jail's kind of cold. I'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, yeah, make sure I got some money going in there with me, so I got some money on my books to buy stamps. But anyway, it's like I would call them and just be like, "I'm right here. I got warrants. Come and get me." And
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "You're insane. Why would you do that?" Well, it's
Well,
better
that's
to it's better to like go ahead and go do it than be caught off guard and them arresting you, you know?
Make the choice yourself to turn yourself in is much easier, And our pastor talked about that this morning at church. He talked about living with that shame when you do something wrong and you try to hide it. How when you've stolen something or when
Yeah.
whatever, you broke the law or you did something bad, and we try to hide it, and that shame and that guilt that eats at you. And his way of explaining it was it's because humans aren't meant to live in the darkness. We're meant to live in the light. And when you're living
Amen.
in the darkness, it eats at you. You're gonna feel it. And it doesn't feel
Amen.
right. Oh, who do we got here? We got two sober chicks. Oh, that's Cassie Howard over there watching on YouTube. How you doing, Cassie? Good to see you. Got all kinds of people here to celebrate 2 years with you, Dayna Moore. That's awesome.
Wow.
Woo!
I just want to put it out there. If I can do it, my old ass can do it. You can do it. I just really want everyone who is young and going through this. I know it sucks. I ain't going to sugarcoat recovery because it sucks. The anxiety, the fear, the constant, oh God, what if it comes across my path? Am I going to pick up? You guys, you got to pull yourselves together. It's hard. There's plenty of people in the recovery world. Our people here at the Point of Change, you can message anybody in this group and we will message back. We will give a lending ear. We will help you out. We'll do whatever we can,
Amen.
and Maddie's wonderful, but you got to do it. It's
Yep.
just,
Nobody
don't
can
be
do it for
old.
you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got to do it yourself. I know it sucks. But you know what? The benefits overall, after you get through that suckiness, it's really all right. Really.
It really is. Yeah, I was actually just writing a letter to my prison pen pal tonight, and I was kind of telling him at one point I kind of felt like I was going negative, and I changed my wording a little bit on it because I was talking about how hardcore recovery can get, how hard
Yeah.
it is to sometimes to be facing this stuff, and it's overwhelming, and it's a lot. And then after I wrote like a whole paragraph like that, and I was like, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
Just so
right.
like, I don't want to steer you away. I don't
Yeah.
want he's going to get this
Well,
letter and be like, well, then never mind.
and it's really challenging to like try to always be on the positive. Always be on the positive. Always, it's like I work in, a grocery store, and it's like people come in there and customers come in there and they are just bitter. They are bitter about everything. You don't have this one thing that you had in that store 10 years ago. Damn it, you better rah, rah, rah. And I always seem to like pull them aside and be like, well, what about this option? And try to turn them around to a positive no. But it's hard because the world is so full of negativity all the time, and everybody always negative about this. No, COVID, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of stay in my own lane. You know, I just kind of la la la, butterflies, unicorns, whatever, and just kind of stay in my own lane. And I don't let people get to me too much. I can't.
Amen.
I can't. you know?
That's that peaceful serenity that we have, and we got to protect that peace.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We got to do it.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
anybody have any hot questions for me?
Oh, let's see if we got any hot burning questions here. Patrice says, "What are you wearing?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see, Sandy. No, I don't see any questions so far. We got a lot of people proud of you, though. That's for sure.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm proud of everybody. You know, you just got to stick with it, people. It's going to be all right.
Ah, right. Everybody here is like, I love the point of change. I love what this has come to, you know? I mean, to go from just a friggin' idea I had to share my story, you know, a little bit and start making live videos in my buddy's garage to where it has come to today. Like, it blows my mind sometimes to see this.
I know. Because you are a badass, like for real.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be a
You're
badass
wonderful.
today.
You're wonderful. You are a badass.
Let's see. Connor says, "I personally have not had addiction with drugs, but I love seeing people turning into this stream and keeping on the road to recovery. And it's amazing hearing the stories and seeing how people have gotten back on their feet and getting to a good place. Bless you all and keep up the great work, everyone." Thanks, Connor. Yes. Right on. Got a lot of awesome people here. Just a lot of uplifting comments. Let's see. Michael or Mickle, I think it's Michael, but I'm not sure on the pronouncing on this one. But he says, "Why are you such an amazing lady?"
That must be my brother-in-law who's watching on the big screen in the living room. Because my whole family's in the living room on the big screen, and they have me up there. So, to all of you, yes, that's my
brother. Well, we need answers here, Dayna. Why
am I such an amazing lady? I don't know. I don't know.
How about what has been like the biggest benefit to your recovery? How about
that? Gaining the respect of my children, and my children told me that they forgive me.
That's beautiful.
Because that my kids to this day are my world. I love my kids. I have the best kids in the world. And for everything that I put them through, the guilt, oh God, the guilt for years and years and years. I was so ashamed. But they look at me now, especially my two younger ones, and they tell me, you know, because I did turn over custody to my ex-in-laws because I was running in hotels and running drugs and running around. And I was like, this is not the environment for my kids. And so I gave custody to my ex-in-laws, and I felt so bad for it. But you know what? My kids got where they are today because they were raised in a good environment. You know what I mean? And that's why I know addiction is a hard thing, but you know what? Unfortunately, it's the kids that suffer the most. You know, because they're sitting in that environment. And I mean, I've seen some real rowdy ass environments where kids are, and I just want to look at the parent and go, are you out of your fucking mind? Excuse my language. But you know, hello, these kids are 110% dependent on you. And what are you doing? But I mean, I also understand from the other side that when you're in live addiction, you don't care. You don't care about nothing but getting that next high, getting that next fix, getting that next, you know, $20 to get what you need. You know, and unfortunately, the kids are the victims, and the kids are just, you know, it's a sad deal.
You know, I was talking to somebody earlier today about, you know, they were asking me what's the deal with people, you know, that are in an active addiction. Why does it seem like they don't love their family, they don't love their kids, or they don't love their spouse? It always just seems like they don't love them, you know. And I said, you know, because on one level, we just don't have the capacity when we're in an active addiction. We don't have the time to love people. When you have, you know, between the paranormal delusions, or, you know, and the paranoid schizophrenia that's going on, and the constant running and looking at your phone and making sure that you got the next high lined up, and all of that, we just don't have the time to love anybody, even if we had the capacity for it, you know. And it's so hard to love others when you don't love yourself. And that's so much of addiction is a lack of self-love. So it's not so much that we didn't want to love other people or anything. We just didn't really know how.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it too is, the people that you love, your family members, friends, so on and so forth. You burn bridges with so many of them, stolen from them, lied to them, burn, 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 burn. I promise this is my last time. I promise I'll get clean. I promise, promise, promise. That people basically give up on you. And so to make, a full turnaround and get people to trust you and believe in you without them thinking, oh, this is just a bunch more lies, that's a hard thing in recovery too. Really hard, which you know this too. You know what I mean? It's like you burn so many bridges and then you look back and think, oh my God, why did I do this to this person? But at the time, you're high and you're like, you don't even think about it. Oh, my mom won't care if I run off in her car, I'll just run over here and steal my sister's bike or, and you don't think about it at the time. And then now that we have to think about it, we're like, oh shit, what did I do?
Yeah, that was stupid of me, and I probably worried them and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Michael says to show us the cool sign behind you.
Oh God.
There it is. Dayna Moore presents My Story. Nice.
Oh my God, my family is out. My family is out of control, I swear, but I love them.
Oh, they wanted you to have a beautiful background there. That's nice.
I know. They're insane.
Let's see. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Alex has got a question for you if you don't mind answering. How long were you using meth in total before you quit for good?
Approximately about 7 years.
About 7 years.
Probably. I mean, it was really weird because at some point in those 7 years, it was bad, and then I would like get clean for a while, get a job, get my shit together, wouldn't be doing it, and then, go just whenever I would do it, I would take a little break from it, and then I would go just like crazy hard. I'm talking like, full blown freaking hello, let's just do this. But probably towards the end of the 7 years, like before I went to jail this last time, I wasn't really doing it that much because I was on the streets. And when I was on the streets, my kids were like crazy worried about me, little old white lady on the streets. And I rolled by myself. I did not roll with a bunch of homeless people. I was like, no, I had my spots where I would stay. And I didn't really do a lot of drugs because I had to be mentally like, I was out on the streets by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to mentally be there. Now, if drugs were around or offered, or I would go stay in a hotel or something with friends, yeah, I would do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But probably on and off pretty rough for about 7 years. But yeah, no more.
Yeah, that's usually with addiction. I mean, this is not like, I mean, there is no normal when it comes to addiction, but I like to say usually it's around a decade is how long addiction runs its course. If it's either, a little give or take, and then the addiction, they seem to find their way into recovery. Like I was 13 years, you were 7. But that's not to say that that's, everybody's case. Like, Drew Hicks, who used for, decades, and other people that have used for decades, so but it seems the average is around a decade of drug use before you find recovery or you end up in prison or dead.
Yeah, no, I don't like either one of those choices, but thanks.
Nope, I'll pass.
No, I think I'm fine. Well, and I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that too, I'm older, you know what I mean? And so it's like, maybe if I was in my 30s, I didn't have no responsibility, 40s, younger, and I probably might still be going wild.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm like, I'm an old lady, and I'm like, I ain't got nobody to take care of me. I got to take care of myself. I got to get my shit straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank God you did too. I can understand. Oh, well,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank God for it. Sheena says, Maddie, I want to tell my story, but I'm scared too. Was it scary, Dayna?
No, actually, it really helps. Like I wrote it down right here. See this? Wrote it down. 5 pages. I was just going to read it. I went in a separate room and I read it over and over and again, just like practiced. you know, because I thought, oh God, I'm going to cry. Now, when it came to my kids, of course I'm going to cry because I love my kids. But it's scary, but I mean, I did it like write it down and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get on there. I mean, the thing is, it's like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm talking to, you know, standing in an auditorium of 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And does it show you on your screen how many people are here? Did you get to see that?
No, sir.
Hey, look at that. Oh, yeah. It's over
No.
7,000 people here right now.
You're a liar. Don't tell me your lies.
7.6 thousand says it right there. You wouldn't even know it.
Oh, whatever.
No, this was awesome though. I'm really glad you came
Well,
out
thank you so much, Maddie. And thank you, Recovery Family. You guys, please, you know, give it a try. Give recovery a try. Give it a try.
Give it a try. Give it your best shot.
I mean, you know,
right?
just sample it out. Check it out.
Check it out. See if it works for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out.
Why not?
It's either going to work or it's not.
To do. Yeah. Nothing better to do, right?
Check it out.
Check it out. That's all she's got. That's the best advice. All right, Dayna. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Maddie. Everybody have a blessed evening and know that you are loved.
You too. And happy 2-year anniversary, dear. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right. Thank you, Maddie. Love you. Good night.
Love you, Dayna. Bye. There you have it, guys. Dayna Moore hitting 2 years clean and sober. Thank God for that woman. I'm so glad she's been a follower of mine for quite a long time. Like she said, I was the first recovery speaker she found, so I'm honored to be the first she found and have brought her into the light of all these other speakers that she watches now. And now she's a supporter of mine on Patreon as well. So huge thank you to Dayna for coming here tonight and sharing her story. Guys, make sure you throw up some hearts before you hit the road. If you didn't react to this video, make sure you throw up a reaction of some kind, throw up a comment, and give me some likes, loves, and a share on this one. This was an awesome time. I loved hanging out with Dayna. That was really fun. So, all right, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.